Say hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Alongside me today, legend in the capping game, Dom Ricci. Dommy, how are you doing?
Thank you, Jose, for having me. I am doing well. Hey, that song is a pretty decent song you got going there, rocking at the beginning. I never really realized it. Has a little rock to it, right? Just my flavor.
There you go. See, I cater to the people, Dom.
Yeah,
I cater to the
the
people.
older people, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly. I got you. I got you guys. Dom, you told me before the show you had a good day. Last couple of days, I had one as well. It seems like things are starting to turn a little bit. Everyone seemed to had a really tough Wednesday this week, and now everyone's starting to kind of come back to form here. How'd you do the yesterday though?
Yesterday I had a good day, not Thursday and Friday. My Wednesday turned into Thursday, and Friday was like a break even day. But yes, for some reason that Wednesday was crazy. But yesterday I did well. Yesterday I had a couple nice wins. I had the Twins live at a plus 394 when they were down 3-0. I tweeted it out with my plays yesterday, the top of the third inning. So that always helps when you hit one of those rare when you hit one of those rare big live plays because they are rare. Live's a tough game to play at, but every once in a while it works. But yes, I had a good day. Unfortunately I did have the Seattle Mariners. Sorry for that walk off, but hey,
That really pissed me off. I will admit that.
Yeah.
That did send me down a dark road with the Celtics too. But today's Sunday and this is
Yes.
a baseball
Today's
show
Sunday.
as well, Tommy.
Yes, and I did take a little shot with the Rangers yesterday at a plus 177. You know, they scored that goal in the third, tying it up, and I jumped out of my seat, and 20 seconds later, the goal went in. I was like, oh my god! But Jimmy and Goji scripted it perfect. Shout out to them.
Yeah, they did. And I was not watching the game, but I got a text message, and it was from one of my friends, and it said, live bet the Lightning immediately. And it was like right as the Rangers scored, I guess. And I pulled it up, and everything was already down. I was like, oh, I don't know what happened. And I looked at the score, and it was already 2-1. I was like, oh, my goodness, that's incredible. But yeah, no, great hockey games.
Watch
Interesting
the goal.
games. Yep. And then the Stanley Cup playoffs, or the Stanley Cup, I should say, don't start for a while. So Wednesday. So there we go.
If you get a quick chance before we switch off hockey, watch that goal, that last goal. Watch how the fluke goal it was a great pass. Stamkos was out way in front, but the rebound came right off his knee and went back into the net. It was just such a heartbreak.
Okay, I'll be sure to watch that.
Definitely watch it. Anyhow, let's get going.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Ranger fans and Yankees fans are too close for me to feel any sympathy. I will admit to you, Don. It's Islanders fans that I like a little more.
Well, you know where I'm at with as far as fans.
There we go. You're on the right side of history, Dom. And you know what, Dom? I will ask you this, Dom.
Go ahead.
How old are you? Just out of curiosity.
I'm going to be 65 years old in August.
Well, Dom, it's
August
unfortunate.
14th.
I wish I would have had you a couple days before then, because we're officially on the Say Hey Play 67. Say Hey Plays
Nice.
67 underway
Nice.
officially. A game about to go. It is the A's Guardians, I believe. I didn't
Yes.
even cap it because I didn't want to rush and try to get it in. Dom, do you have anything on it real quick?
My sentiments exactly. I didn't really. I went over the game a little bit in case you wanted to talk to it, but I don't have a play on it. I have a play on 3 different games. I got 4 bets, 3 different games. But Cleveland is 4-0 off a loss, and they are 4-2 after yesterday. Still, of the AL West. So Oakland won yesterday, but they're 7-3 at home. The last 11. The under seems to be a little bit of an under trend there. Cleveland is 7-1-1, the last 9 off a loss to the under. So if that helps anybody. But and this is why trends will get you every time. The over is 4-1-1 when they're versing lefties.
I love that.
So,
take it
but
immediately.
Oakland is 1-6 off following a win. Last 7 games, Oakland is 1-6. So but it's I don't even know what's the odds right now.
I will look that up for you.
Minus 170. Yeah.
Ron Crawford, by the way, spreadsheet play of the day on the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, it's a big number. I don't bet over minus 140. So there you go.
There you go. You got Ronnie. Shout out to Ron, our
Shout
guy,
out, Ronnie.
as always.
Love Ronnie.
Let's officially get into Say Hey Play 67 here and break down the other games here. We've got
Okay.
a Diamondbacks Phillies spot to start off the day here. We've got a bit of a bullpen day, it seems, for the Diamondbacks. We've got Kyle Nelson, it seems, started off, but he's only gone one inning this year, so we'll call it a bullpen day for the Diamondbacks. Ranger Suarez on the other side for the Phillies. Obviously, I've got a little more faith in the Phillies lineup than the Diamondbacks here. And Ranger, he's been kind of hit or miss, but the last two starts, he's only given up 2 earned runs, which is always acceptable in my book. 4 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks. And then at Milwaukee, at his last time out, 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, and no walks there. The Diamondbacks also don't hit lefties. 29th against lefties at 74 weighted runs created plus since June 15th. So I passed on this game, but it's clearly a Phillies spot for me, and they're minus 190, perhaps a team total if you're feeling wanting to play on this game. But I play the Phillies and team total, but nothing official for me here, Dom.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard to go against the Phillies right now. They just are jugging out their last. What are they 9-0? Last 9 games?
I think so.
They won 9 games, I believe so. Unbelievable.
For us, but
they're 6-0 at home as a home favorite. They're 6-0. I mean, listen, the line is was it minus 190 or minus 185?
Yeah.
The total is 9.5. It's just such a tough game to play. I mean, if you ask me for a play, I would probably say Phillies team total over or the over totally. But it's a tough game to play. I mean, the D-backs are always famous for pulling out these kind of crazy games and winning these weird type of games when they don't suspect to win and at a good price. I mean, they have done that. I mean, they are 7-4 versus the NL East, so it's not like they're terrible. But the under is 8-2 last 10 off a loss. The under is 10-3 as a dog for Arizona, and the under is 6-3 last 9 on the road for them. So I mean, 9.5 is kind of high. That under trend has changed. It was great for a while. So yeah, I mean, I'm off the game. It's a tough one to pick. I don't know if anybody in the chat or anything is on the game. Again, I can't bet the Phillies at this price.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Phillies at this price. Ron Crawford mentioning some rain in the forecast too. There's rain on the East Coast. Dom,
it's raining here. It's raining here.
Dom, let us know because you can look right outside and let us know.
Right. It's raining here. It's been off and on. I don't think it's raining hard enough for them to stop this Yankee game, but it could maybe be postponed a little bit. And I don't know if it's going to rain harder. So that's but right, it's been raining on and off all morning.
No, I agree with you. Shout out to Don Mack and Southpaw who were joining the show. The Red Sox effed Southpaw last night, and they definitely did the same for me, Southpaw. I'm right there with you. I hate staying up for those late games and just watching a walk-off. It really puts me to bed in a sour mood. So speaking of sour moods here, Dami, let's talk about the New York Yankees real quick. Jameson Taillon on the bump, who has been a revelation. I guess he's been phenomenal. He's been right there with Nestor. He just has not gotten as much hype, maybe because he's mustacheless. Keegan Thompson, who had his first blow-up last start against the Orioles. And I think this is going to begin a trend for Keegan, and I expect the Yankees to get off on him as well. Again, it probably another team total look for me, but it's way too high for me to play. Let's talk about Taillon's last start. He kind of got roughed up at Minnesota, 4 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs, a home run, 3 Ks, and a walk. But the Minnesota Twins will do that to you. Their offense, when they have Buxton Correa, rolls. And before that start at Minnesota, he was at home versus the Angels, in the middle of the Angels, I guess. Cold streak, 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, no walks. Pretty dominant there. And the Yankees are 6th against righties right now, 124 weighted runs created plus. Cubs sneaky 113 weighted runs created plus. So they're getting up there against righties. So that's 9th best in the league. So I'll ultimately pass on this game as well. The Yankees are just too high of a favorite. Keegan Thompson, a pitcher I don't want to bet on anymore after taking against Baltimore. I think maybe it was a product of him just facing bad lineups. Who knows? But pass game for me.
That Judge home run yesterday is the quickest home run. I guess that's how you put it. of the year so far in Major League Baseball. The exit velocity was 119.8, some wild rocket ship number, and he just blasted it. The beginning of that game yesterday was blast, blast, blast. The Cubs were just.
And I didn't realize that Matt Schwarmer had a high leg kick like Bronson Arroyo. I was like, what are we watching here? This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, the Yankees aren't a team that you're going to too much come back on, starting off like that. They're actually on pace to win 118 games, which will just make you throw up. But yes.
I hope they win them all. They'll hold the playoffs. They'll win them all, please.
But listen, I don't, the Yankees pitching has been well, and it's, and it's not Derek Cole like, around here, Derek Cole is like God. Especially with the with the Yankee fans, but he's not one of my favorite pitchers. But yeah, they got some good arms. He got some real good arms. Not that he's not a good arm, but Yankees are a tough squad.
I'd say he's not a good arm. So there you go.
Right? Okay, I got you. I hear you. I get the backstory there. Yes, I'm off the game. For some reason, a weird combination has been kind of hitting, and I hit it a couple times last week. With the Yankee games under, but the team total over. It's happened a bunch of times because they hold the teams down a little bit. So
yeah.
And as you mentioned, the Twins, by the way, if the Twins could not play the Yankees ever, they would have a lot better record constantly.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs. They might win a game in the playoffs if they don't beat the Yankees.
Right.
And it might be another fate for them. It might be another Yankees matchup for them this year.
That's because the Yankees is an old Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle picture. I had to put it up. It was my dad's favorite players. It was the old Met fan, Yankee fan duel with me and him over the years. But, of course, that picture's up. Joe DiMaggio's like, a god in the Italian New York area.
Oh, I kind of wanted I kind of expected a Ted Williams picture up there too, Dommy, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah,
you don't want the best hitter of all time up there. You don't want to. It's okay.
I got Piazza, and I have Tom Seaver's
That's the Tom Seaver statue is one of the best statues in sports.
That's a good one.
That's a very good statue out there. It's a very, very good statue.
What do you got next for me, buddy?
Brewers Nationals on this next game. Jason Alexander back in our lives. I thought he would not be back in our lives so soon, but here he is again versus Paulo Espino, who I remember from last year making starts and not being impressed with. This is just another black game that I honestly don't want to spend too much time on. I don't like either one of these teams, even though I did bet the Nationals team total over this year. But I don't like the starter for the Nationals. After the Nationals hit back-to-back home runs yesterday and all that offense, I kind of don't expect it to come back again. But, and the Brewers the slight favorite here, minus 125 against the Nationals. I mean,
0-7, the Brewers are 0-7, so they're due. When I hear 0-7, 0-8, people think, I'm thinking they're due to win, but if we watched that line yesterday, we really should have had the Nationals. And I know we were all talking about the Brewers, and I was talking about them, and I didn't bet them. I got off them, which I was going to bet because of the line. That line was dropping little by little yesterday.
It was weird. It was a weird
the
line.
Nationals. Yeah. When you opened your show yesterday, it was around minus 153, 155, whatever. And then when you went off, it was like 141, 142. And I was watching. I'm like, man. And so we should have took that. Yeah.
Weird.
Yes. But that line sometimes, tells us. That's why gambling, it's weird. You shoot for that early line all the time, and sometimes it bites you, because that line will tell you the story late. So anyhow, yes, I'm off this game. I'm not even sure what the weather is there. The Brewers are in a funk. I talk about it all the time, year in and year out, the Brewers and the Reds. When they're expected to win, after they start winning, and they're expected to win, they start losing. It happens every time. So we'll see what happens. I know there's a lot of Brewer love out there. I'm not one of them.
I'm not either. I picked the Cardinals to win that division, so I agree with you there. So it looks like it's decent weather, but 8 miles an hour wind out as well. Ballpark Kyle doesn't say that it has any really effect on offense.
No, 15 miles an hour to me is like the cutoff. It doesn't really matter much under 15. I guess you could squabble about that number 12, but 8, 9, I don't know.
Yeah, I only really take the wind into account in Chicago. Those are really the only places that it can really, really make a
You're
difference.
right.
So
Listen,
shout out
stadiums
to
are built different. At City Field, the wind whips around. When they say the wind is blowing out at a right, that wind's whipping around though. So you got to watch that. In Yankee Stadium, that wind blowing right, that's a good sign because that right field porch is
Oh, I was about to say, they
short.
don't need the win, Dommy. They can just flick their
No, I
wrist.
know that, but that's a
Nope,
good
not
sign to
that.
look at with the weather. I'm just saying for people that
Yeah,
like to look at weather. But City
no.
Field, man, it wraps around. So anyhow, next game.
No, we do need to remember that the whipping around that we do remember that at Oracle Park now for San Francisco.
Right.
So City Field among those lists as well now. So
Yeah.
and Dom, you're right there. You know better than
Well,
anyone.
the way the stands are built, that stadium, there's only one section that it's open now. So, you got to look at it that way. Go ahead.
I'm excited to go to City Field, and maybe not as excited to go to Yankee Stadium one day, but I'm excited to go to New York one day. Probably, hopefully,
Yeah.
not get my ass kicked one day as well.
No, that doesn't happen. Just leave your jersey off. No ass.
Well, Tommy, I'm not gonna leave the jersey off. I'm an asshole. I'm gonna wear.
So then you will go with you. Then you'll have to go with me and my crew of old guys. We'll take care of it.
Thank you. I need some old Italians by me, but with that, I can't lose. I can't lose on that. Pirates Braves here. Jose Quintana, Kyle Wright on the bump here, and it seems like Quintana's time has come. I don't know. I think it's his time is coming. He got touched up by the Tigers of all people last time out. Braves are first against lefties, 164 weighted runs created plus. I really enjoy Kyle Wright. I think his transformation this year has been great. He was a meh pitcher last year, and in the playoffs he kind of turned it on, and now he's kind of carried that over into the regular season. Kind of what I thought Bryce Wilson would do, but now he's on the Pirates doing whatever he's doing.
Him, yeah.
But I think it's obviously a brave spot. I mean, this is minus 250 for a reason. The Pirates are 28th against righties, 278 weighted runs created plus, and Kyle Wright's coming off of a great start at Oakland, or versus the Oakland A's at home, I should say. 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks, no walks there. So this is a brave spot in some form or fashion. I assume I'm looking at a team total right now, 5.5, and I typically don't like doing those as plus 105. And a 5 is minus 125. So those are just too high. I wish, I apologize for passing on all these games, guys, but these are just high numbers for these first couple here, big favorites. Maybe you want to parlay them together, do whatever you want there, but just passes for me here.
Well, it is a game that we both were on yesterday, though, and hit that team total over with Pittsburgh, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did.
So that was a good one. That was one of my hits yesterday, and as I tweeted out, I was late to pull the trigger, so I didn't get that minus 125.3. So I took the 3.5 at the plus 105, and it worked out. So there you go. I know we were talking about that yesterday, but the Braves would Albies hit that grand slam yesterday.
It was. I was like, ooh. I felt really good. I felt great about taking the team total there. I was like, I'm glad I didn't take money line or first 5, whatever. I'm glad I just stuck with the team total and not have to worry about this pitching disaster that the Pirates had.
And the only way I think this game could stay under is because Pittsburgh won't drive in any runs or drive in 1 or 2. But there is an umpire stat: 5 overs, 4 unders, 4 pushes for this game. I do have some umpires popped up here.
And I will say, Teflon Don mentions Atlanta first 5 is 5-1. Or no, sorry, he's Atlanta first 5 minus 1. I should say Teflon Don. There we go.
Okay.
Sorry, I got little numbers mixed up there. But Atlanta first 5 minus 1 for Teflon.
I mean, a lot of money going to the under 9. 66% bets.
Eric
the
Jones
handle is 63%. A lot of people seems to be pushing toward that under. But Braves minus 255, 89% of the handle, 89% of the bets. It's amazing. I know those percentages. Some people have a few percentages different here and there. I believe it tells the same story. I know people quibble over, I don't see that. I see 82%. Well, 85 and 82, 83, there's not much of a difference.
Yeah, it's all around.
But it's a game I'm off. And like I said, if I lean, I would lean under. I would lean under in that game.
Yeah, it seems like everyone in the chat agrees with you there. Jennifer Luce's on the under.
Okay, good.
Support likes the under as well. So it seems like an under game here. Like I said earlier, Eric Jones liked the under as well, under 9. So under game, I wrote down the under there. I still haven't moved on anything officially here, but I do find that to be interesting. And Dom, could you say the over under numbers one more time?
9.
No, the percentage of the bets.
Oh, it was. Let me get back to that. I was just going to give you some under and over stats. The nine was, I see 66% of the bet, 63% of the handle on the under nine.
Mm. Well,
Interesting.
interesting there. I mean, it's not too drastic
Right.
either. So
Right.
I have it at 9 at minus 105 for me. So I wrote that down. I'll come back to it later at the end of the show and see if we'll make it official. But I do like that. Rand said the under will be a sweat, and Teflon Don likes the under or like those stats, the umpire stats. Dom.
Wright is 9-2 under as a pitcher in the current situation. But then again, on the other hand, that's why I love reading these trends sometimes. So Wright's 9-2, under to Atlanta, but Atlanta is at home is 12-3 the last 15 game versus a left-handed starter. So I mean, the Braves will probably rock this pitcher today. The
That's
only
why.
reason why, but like I said, I could see them winning, 6-2. I could see, something like that, or, a 6-1 game, 7-2 game, which would be a push, but I could see that kind of game
I
against the
agree with you.
Pirates.
That's why it's either the under for me here or the team total over for the Braves, and you got
And
to
what
take
was that number?
5.5 was
Oh,
plus
I can't play it.
105,
I
and
can't
then
play 5.5.
yeah, 5 was minus 125, I believe. So a little juicy there, but I
The
like I
first
said,
five team total might even be a better bet. I don't play them, but I think that might be a safe. I don't know. I'm off that game.
yeah, 2.5 is minus 125. So I agree with you there, Tom. It's just all a
Yeah.
little bit too juicy for me and for you as well. Let's move on. Next game here, a game that I'm sure that wherever Jimmy is today, he's going to be watching and have a lot of conflicting feelings about.
I
The
hope he's
Toronto Blue
watching.
Jays and Ross Stripling versus the Detroit Tigers and his baby boy of Tariq Skubal.
I hope he's watching.
I think I saw him tweet earlier this morning that he is on the Blue Jays again today. I think he took the -1. I'm not 100% sure, but I find that fascinating that he's going to fade his guy here. That's his blind betting of the Blue Jays. I don't know if I guess he can't technically take a day off since he's doing it every day, but I'm sure he would not enjoy betting this game. And 30th are these Tigers against righties, 31 or 71, excuse me, weighted runs created plus. Ross Stripling, his last start, and I was like, this same thing happened to me last time when he first started the season in the rotation. His first rotation just seemed like, or his first start just seemed like he was great last time, and he did it again at the Royals. 5 innings of only 1 hit, 2 Ks, got guys to ground out and fly out, and just did his thing. It seems like, I should say, the last time in the beginning of the year he was in the rotation, the first 2-3 starts he was good, and then eventually started to tail off. So I'm kind of expecting the same thing here. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he dominated here again for 5 innings, probably let the bullpen do the rest. And if you're a Blue Jays fan, letting the bullpen do the rest is probably a little bit of a scary proposition. But I could see a first 5 under here for sure with Skubal on the bump here. First 5 under, maybe a full game under. But I just wasn't confident enough to take it with the Toronto Blue Jays offense now 4th against lefties, 150 weighted runs created plus. So I just didn't want to move on it, unfortunately. Just a tough game, honestly.
Well, this is one of the games I did move on. I have 2 plays on this game. One Jimmy won't like, and one is the one you just mentioned. I did take the under 4, first 5 at, let me see, -108. I got the first 5 under 4 -108. And I have the Tigers 123 for the game. I took the Tigers
Ooh.
against Stripling. I have the Tigers as a team that's going to start. That's not going to keep doing what they're doing. I have a few teams that I think are going to start playing better. The Tigers are one of them. The Mariners are another. I've talked about the Mariners a few times already over the last few days. So I do believe those 2 teams. We'll see what happens. But I have some trust in it. Anyhow, I love Scooby also. 65 innings pitched. He pitched a lot more than Stripling, that's for sure. Stripling has 37 innings pitched, but 2.33 ERA, 70 Ks, 10 walks, an OBP of 249. The last game he beat the Pirates 5-3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 9 Ks, no walks. I love that. And that game, something was weird with that game. He was listed to pitch, and then they took him off. And then they went back on because we were talking about it in the chat, like what happened. And I thought my bets were going to be canceled, and then they were back on, and we won that game. But you remember that, right?
Yeah, I do. It was weird. I remember for a little bit, it was like, is he scratched? Is he not scratched?
Right.
And then I remember some people did, in fact, get their tickets canceled because they changed it and they changed it back. So, yeah, Jimmy, yours, and a lot of people's, but some people's did get voided, which is crazy, honestly.
Right. Yeah, that is crazy. I mean, he had 92 pitches his last outing, but he gave up. Like I said, 1 home run, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 9 Ks. He's 3-1 at home. He's 3-2 in the daytime. At home he has a 2.10 ERA. 2.35 OBP at home and a .090 WHIP. So Scooby pitches pretty well at home. Stripling, on the other hand, the last game they won 8-0 versus Kansas City, but he pitched like 5 innings, 56 pitches, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. He's 1-1 away. He has a 4.76 ERA on the road his last 3. 17 innings pitched, 15 hits, 9 earned runs in the last 3 away.
I'll tell you this: the line's going to the Tigers. Line going to the Tigers too.
Yeah, the line's moving towards the Tigers. Those last 3, like I say, away for Stripling, a 1.06 WHIP. I like the chances. I like the listen. I like Toronto a lot. I hope and pray that, and I told Jimmy, tell the kids to make room for Uncle Dom, because I'm coming for the World Series when the Mets play Toronto. So that's my hope. That's my hope and wish. But seriously, I love Toronto. I mean, I would love to see a team knock off these Yankees. I tell you the truth, I'd love to see it.
Well, Dom,
they're the right team to do it. They got the team. Stripling will be all right.
Oh, Dom. Here's the funny thing: since I've been alive, the Yankees have never beaten the Red Sox in the playoffs since 2003. It's been hilarious, Dom. I don't have to worry about that at all. They always fold in the playoffs now. I'm not worried about this big bad Yankees mystique anymore. It's just so refreshing to know that they're gonna lose in the playoffs again.
I've seen some legendary Red Sox games at Shea Stadium, by the way.
I'm sure you're
talk to you about that one day.
86. Every older Red Sox fan I hear from, that is the permanent scar they have on them. 86 is always the permanent scar, and it does in fact hurt me a little bit that my former favorite player is named Mookie Betts, and we always of course have Mookie Wilson there as well. I always remember those things. Shout out to Bill Buckner as well. Let's move on. Baltimore Orioles here. Royals here. A lovely mouthful there. Kramer versus Keller as well. I've got nothing on this game. This game has just no interest to me. No interest to me at all. I've been saying throughout the year, I thought Brad Keller was the best pitcher on this Royal staff, and he's now slept into a 1-7 record. He's lost like his last 4 starts.
And I backed him 2 of those 4 starts.
Yeah, and he's not even pitching he's not pitching poorly per se. Like 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 Ks, 2 walks versus the Blue Jays. For Brad Keller, I think that's a pretty good start. It's just the offense sometimes doesn't get behind him.
Well, they scored nothing before, right?
Yeah, the start before at Cleveland, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, a strikeout, 3 walks. I mean, I'm sure he definitely can blow up. Let's not say that. I'm not calling him a Cy Young pitcher. I think he's a quality arm. And the -140 is kind of an indication that the books are like, yeah, he's a good pitcher. He's a good pitcher. And the Orioles, we've got the cream machine on the other side. I've got nothing I want to even consider backing here. And the Royals, I would say the Royals offense is not want a team total either. So it's just one of those things I have to pass here too, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wonder if is anybody on that game at all in the chat.
Yeah, I will say this. I still shout out to Chipper Cat. Because he says he shudders when I say Royals. I don't know. I asked around people. Royals is apparently a word I can't say. I don't know.
Don't. If you're gonna go by my enunciation of words, you're in trouble.
Well, Dom, we love your enunciation and words. I wish I heard your accent. It's very nice.
I thought you guys had the accent, not me.
I just sound like Lois Griffin with the nasaliest voice ever. Professor Chris says my model has an Orioles minus 123. He leans Orioles in this dirt game. With J.A. likes Baltimore team total. THC's Rizzo likes the over 9.5 here.
Let me see if I can get you some of those total trends. If I was going to take a play, it would definitely be the Orioles with the plus money, for sure. That would definitely be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm ever comfortable taking the Royals at a minus 140. And like I said, I do think Brad Keller is good, but I just the offense is kind of shaky at times. I understand they've been kind of hitting as of late. They're 12th right now against righties, 109 weighted runs created plus. We talked about MJ Melendez yesterday and how he's been doing well. Salvi's back and hitting. Benintendi, who is trying to win a batting title and realize finally that maybe I shouldn't try to always hit home runs. And he's realizing he's a base hitter now, but just nothing here. If it was literally any other pitcher for the Orioles, I think I would move towards the Orioles and want to take something on their side. But I'll say this. I like the team total look, but I've seen too many times where a bad team, I take a bad team total, and their pitcher goes out there and gives up 3-4 runs immediately, and their offense is just kind of like sapped. They're just like, okay, well, it's going to be one of those days, and they just don't have the will to just fight on. They keep giving up runs, and it just kind of sucks the life out of them late. So I hope that doesn't happen here with Kramer, and I would not be surprised at all if the Baltimore Orioles won.
Did you say that there were some people on the over in that game?
Yeah, a lot of I would say I think it was THC's Rizzo likes the over.
A bunch of trends that way. There is the Orioles for some reason at Kauffman Stadium, they're 8-2 last 10 games. And on the road, on the road versus Kansas City, 8-2 to the over. So that helps anybody.
Yeah, I don't hate the overlooks. Like I said, I'm gonna move on because I think this next game is very interesting. Another game, unfortunately, I don't have any plays on, but I think this is probably one of the games I'll be. Well, I live in Texas, I would watch it, but blackouts. I think this is the game where I have my eyes glued on. Edward Cabrera, who has been phenomenal, 2-0 with a .75 ERA this year. 1 run given up so far in 2 starts versus the Nationals last time out. 6 innings, 2 hits. A home run, 4 Ks, 2 walks. At Colorado, 6 innings, 1 hit, 9 Ks, 4 walks there. He's been great. And he's facing our modern-day Nolan Ryan, Justin Verlander here. He had a shit start versus the Seattle Mariners about 3 starts ago and made up for it wholly at home last time out. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 12 Ks, 2 walks. Just the domination factor as he always is. And at Oakland before that, 7 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs, a home run, 6 Ks, 2 walks. I'll be honest here, Dom. If I'm playing anything on this game, it is 100% the Marlins. It is 100% the Marlins here. I understand Justin Verlander, all the hype at minus 240, probably honestly at an appropriate price, but maybe you can get a team total like 3.5, 3, perhaps something like that. But right now, the Marlins, 4th against righties, 129 weighted runs created plus. I believe in the bats. I hope that the biggest concern here would be Justin Verlander just doing his old guy shit, just being better at the end of the day than these Marlins bats, and just having that savvy, the experience, like you said, just knowing what to do against these younger bats. But I unfortunately a pass game for me, but this is a Marlins spot for me, and J.A. Has been mentioning a couple no runs in the first innings throughout the chat or throughout the show, and this is another one that I like as well, obviously.
Marlins 5-1 against the 4-1 last 5 against the American League West. If anything, I like this. And 7-5 is a tough number, but I still like the other. The Astros are still one of the best, if not still the best under team in baseball. As of a couple days ago, they were as of Friday.
Yeah, I still think so. I think they're kings of the under still. Right. I mean,
they're like 13 or 14 overs. That's it. Which is amazing with that lineup and their bats. Surprising. But you got Verlander out there. He's at home. I mean, he started 4 games. They've won 3 of them. The team is 3-1 when he's pitching. 1 over, 3 unders. overall, he's pitched 11 games. Only 2 of them went over. One was a push. Again, depending on the number he got with those pushes, sometimes that number isn't really correct. But yeah, I have my lead would be under 7.5 for the game, and I couldn't take the Astros up, of course, at this price.
Yeah.
There's always Sunday's a weird day. There's always a couple of those dogs that pull out these games on a Sunday, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a Miami Marlin win.
I think Edwards an electric pitcher, and it'll be fun. People in the chat bringing up I think it was actually Professor Chris bringing up his strikeout to walk ratio. And 4 strikeouts in his last strike to 2, 4 strikeouts to 2 walks last time versus the Nationals, and then 9-4. So I can understand. I mean, it's a small sample size, obviously,
It's
but
a small sample size.
so we'll see. And I think that's the main concern about all young pitchers. How is he going to throw strikes? And that's the minus 240 I think is a little aggressive for the Astros, but it might be one of those things where the books know, like, okay, Edwards' lack of control is going to catch up with him today. But yeah, if I'm going to back the Marlins here, I think preferably it'd be a team total for me, just to eliminate that factor of it, I guess. But I think it'll be interesting for sure, that game. I think that's going to be the best game of the day. But let's move on to the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Minnesota Twins. Springs versus Sands here. Minus 120 for Springs I thought was pretty cheap, I'll be honest. But I didn't want to back them here. I think the offense for the Twins has just been that good. And I'm gonna pull up Jeffrey Springs' home road splits, because yesterday, or I think it was the day before, Drew Rasmussen's splits were ridiculous. And this is actually kind of funny. Springs' home ERA in 24 and 2/3 innings is a 109. In a way is a 19 and 2/3 innings pitch is a 2.29. So obviously still good, but home it's just different, just really different. The Twins offense has come alive last couple of days, and it seems like if the Twins are going to beat you, it's going to be by out hitting you, and it's going to be with Correa and Buxton in the lineup here. And I'm going to shorten my splits down, because during the big split, from June 15th, they're 21st against lefties, 109 weighted runs created plus. Against righties, they're smashing. But against lefties, let's see here. Against lefties, Minnesota is 19th at 96. So a little better. They've had primarily all their success against righties. So is Spring going to go in there and dazzle them a little bit? I don't know. And Cole Sands is an unknown for me as well. I don't know what I'm going to get from him. Perhaps an overlook here. Over 8.5 would be, I guess, what I'm leaning towards, but nothing here again for me, Dom.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and this is a tough one. The Twins, those bats seem to be coming alive lately. Those Twins bats. Something caught my eye, just to go back to that last game for 1 second. The Marlins are 13-5 in their last 18 meetings against the Astros. Marlins are 6-0 in their last 6 meetings in Houston. The under is 7-2 in the last 9 meetings in Houston. Wow, is exactly. I wouldn't have went back to it. I'm shocked. I'm almost thinking I'm reading it wrong.
And I'm going to say Miami plus 1.5 is minus 105. I just saw THC's Rizzo put that in there. That's. I'm going to write that down, because that's pretty good.
That's an interesting look. I mean, Miami on the road, their run line is they're 30-27 to the run line on the road. 17-11 is their run line on the road. So that's a lot of those are plus. Wow. So anyhow, there you go. Even though they're 12-16 on the road, for some reason they beat Houston. It'd be lovely to beat Verlander today like that. Wow.
Yeah.
So getting back to your game at Tampa Bay, Minnesota, there is a umpire stat: 1 over 9 unders, 9 pushes with Fletcher, the umpire for the game. So I mean, sometimes these umpire stats are something I don't really follow, and I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to incorporating them into capping. But sometimes it's just overwhelming stats, like this one, 1 and 9.
And I will say this: the total has bumped up another half run, so it's at 9 on the right now.
It's at 9. Wow.
So yeah, it seems like the over is the play here. Like I said, I think the minus 120 for Jeffrey Springs, who's been great this year. I think that's a little weird. I think that's a weird line. And yesterday, my guy Matt and I, we snuffed out a little bit of a trap. yesterday, and it seems like this might be it. I will mention this.
Which game which did you think was a trap yesterday? I don't.
It
Which
was
game was
I
that?
think it was the Brewers.
It could have been. It could have been because I know we were talking about him, and then it was starting getting to be. It
I
could
don't.
have been that one.
I
He's
think it was
he's
the
good.
Brewers.
That kid you had on with you yesterday, by the way.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to that kid.
I'll
He's
let
a
him know
good
you
kid.
say that. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
think.
good, man. Nice and I like nice and easy going, calm dude. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
I like you. Young guns are good, man. I love seeing the fresh blood kept coming into the game over the last few years.
Well, I
But
love
let's
your
see
old
what we.
blood,
What's that?
Tommy.
I'm sorry.
I love your old blood in the game, Tommy. Let me tell you that.
Listen, I'm one of the old ones, for sure. But yes, we love it, man. And I'm glad to see it's keeping on going. So that's good. I mean, as far as the money is going, let's see what this over has going here. Well, they have it still at 8.5, but the 73% of the bet, 73% of the handle was the over 8.5. So I'm assuming
Yeah, now
that's
you can
why it
see why
went
it's
to
going
9.
on. Yeah, it makes a
Yeah,
whole lot of sense.
I
All right.
mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, that'd be my play here. Take the over here and just hope that both these offenses work. And I saw that Buxton and Craig got an off. I don't know why they take off days on the same day. That seems so weird to me. But it seems like they took an off day yesterday. They still won, and now they're coming back. And confirmed lineup does have Buxton and Correa as the 1 and 2 today. So
oh,
there you go. There you go. I like the over today. There you go. Plain and simple.
right.
And by the way, a confirmed lineups in Houston as well. And the guy that I always look for in Miami's lineup to make sure I want to bet on, of course, is Jazz Chisholm, and who is hitting leadoff today. So liking Jazz as well. So that Miami plus 1.5 is calling my
Yeah,
name.
I got Miami written down myself. That might one. Like I said, I had 4 bets coming into this game and coming in. 3 games, 4 bets, but that Miami, I might be adding something to that somehow.
Yeah, well, I hope I can. I hope I can just find one bet here, Dom. I have not added anything officially yet.
I got 2 more plays coming, so maybe you'll like one of them.
Beautiful. All right, I'm excited. We've got a couple more games left to talk about, so we've got plenty of time. To John Gray versus Michael Kopech here, White Sox Rangers, and it seemed. Well, I shouldn't say it seemed. It definitely, according to the Cleveland, the Chicago fan base, Tony La Russa's time has come for them. But I can guarantee you guys this: he's not going anywhere until the end of the season. They will not fire that man mid-season. I do not think that what is the Bulls owner's name that owns the White Sox now? I can't remember his name for some reason. Reinsdorf. Jerry Reinsdorf is not going to fire a manager mid-season, especially Tony La Russa, who's had a long relationship with. No way. I think I would be pretty surprised there, even though I called the Joe Madden Girardi things. I'd be pretty surprised. They gave up a big lead yesterday. The fans were booing. I kind of expect them to have a performance today. I think Tony La Russa did his shit and went in there and hopefully, said something to guys, whatever he has to say to get them going. But I kind of expect the White Sox to perform today. Kopech has been phenomenal. Last time out versus the Dodgers, 6 innings, 1 hit, 8 Ks, dominance. He struggled against the Blue Jays, 3 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 4 Ks, 4 walks. So I do expect him to succeed here, and I would like a team total over for the White Sox. I'm going to look at that now.
I like the over itself in this game. I kind of lean to the over itself, so that team total over really, I don't blame you. John, man, Texas really whopped the ball yesterday, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising to see them hitting, and Marcus Simeon's resurgence definitely helps them. I
The
mean,
Texas Rangers are just another one. There's always a few teams that they'll lose, and lose. Then all of a sudden they'll rattle off 4 or 5 wins against a team you don't expect them to, and you can catch them at a decent price sometimes. I don't really agree with this line. I think it should be a little bit higher. But the White Sox are such a tricky team. They're another team that I know a lot of people are high on them, and I really picked a lot of spots last year and the year before going against them and and succeeding. They just seem to, again, like I said about the Brewers, when they start getting that good press, when they start expected to win, they just don't. Like Giolito, what happened with him? I mean, he's pitching okay, he pitched decent, but he still he loses lately. Yesterday's a good example, but
Yeah, I have Giolito to win the Cy Young, and
Yeah, I like him.
I'm waiting for him to, he always gives up the back breaking home run to just kind of like shit on his start. Like he'll go like five great no inning or no run runs, whatever, and then like in the sixth inning he'll walk a dude, throw a change up in the middle of the plate, it'll get hit for a home run, boom, 2 run runs right there, and he'll
Right.
shit all over his start where he had a great start and he'll ruin it like that.
Well,
I Go ahead.
I did read that the White Sox have one of the toughest schedules the first half of the season,
I
and
saw it.
and reversely one of the easier second half. So it might be a team, to follow.
Yeah, it might be.
Going,
It might be time to bet their futures. I know Jimmy bet him early.
yes.
He got a shittier odds. He got a -140. Unfortunately, I think for him, I don't remember exactly what it
Yeah, I
was.
don't remember.
But I'm sure you can get plus odds now. I mean, well, I'm not going to be 100% sure on
Yeah,
that.
but no, I hear you. I
I
hear
think
you.
it's coming to that point. And if La Russa does get fired, which I really doubt he does get fired, I then will be on the White Sox futures. That is when I'll be like, okay, it's time to bet division futures for these White Sox. Because
They said he was trying to get fired the other night because he pitched. He he did something weird the other night, LaRusso. Now I forget it. It slipped my mind. He did some weird thing like putting a guy intentionally walking somebody, and then like towards the end of the game, I forgot something weird happened.
I know what he did. He intentionally walked Trey Turner to bring up
Yeah,
Max Muncy with 2 strikes.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Max Muncy hits a fucking bomb and starts cussing him out around the bases and getting into the dugout. Why the fuck would you walk with 2 strikes? Fuck. Yeah, that was so.
The big radio station in New York, WFAN, that they were just going crazy, crazy over that.
That
It
was
was pretty
hilarious.
funny. They were saying LaRusso's trying to get fired. They were saying,
Well, when he starts walking people with the bases loaded, then I'll really know he's starting to get fired. Shout out to Joe Madden there. And I will mention
yes,
this. Bruce Hayward talking about John Gray real quick. His last start
yes.
for John Gray at Cleveland, 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 Ks, 4 walks versus the Tampa Bay Rays before that, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 12 Ks, 2 walks, a home run there. That was probably his best start of the year. But yeah, I'd want to fade him too. White Sox team total right now, a 4.5 at +115 and a 4 at -120. I will be writing down the Chicago White Sox team total today because I think they have a response after losing such a fucking brutal game yesterday. I think someone in that locker room will get the guys going, whether it be Lucas Giolito, whether it be Tim Anderson's not there, whether it be Abreu. Maybe even we'll ask Tony La Russa to speak in front of everyone, but I think that the guys will get going there.
Cleveland's
All
up
right.
3-1, by the way.
Ooh, goodness.
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Oakland
That's
came up. Oakland came one run in the top of the first, and now Cleveland. Cleveland's a decent team. They're a decent team. They've been tough to back sometimes because I don't agree with them being
Terry
such big
Francona.
favorites. But yeah,
I hope Terry Francona gets out of there and goes to another organization. But I actually hope he retires soon because all of his health issues. And then they name the American League Manager of the Year a trophy after Terry Francona. That is what I would want to happen. Let's move on to the next game here. Cincinnati Reds, Cardinals, Graham Ashcraft, Dakota Hudson here. The Ashman, Graham Ashcraft, 3-0 with a 1.14 ERA. It's been great. What can you say? 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 4 Ks, no walks versus the Diamondbacks. Versus the Nationals, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, 1 walk. That 1 earned run come off a home run. But I think that the Cardinals are a little different here. Cardinals might be a bridge too far for Ashcraft here. 10th Cardinals, 113 weighted runs created plus against righties. The Cincinnati Reds are 22nd right now at 90 weighted runs created plus versus Dakota Hudson, who has been good and a pitcher that I've wanted to back here. I think I've kind of just accepted the Cardinals are sort of on the Rays, kind of trajectory. They can pull out these starting pitchers just out of nowhere. It's pretty weird. It's Hudson, it's Mikolas, and Wainwright's obviously the OG example of this. It's just those guys, they would get them to pitch well, and no one really wants to back them because they're kind of, nobody, no names. You couldn't pick them out of a lineup. But they're good pitchers. So I would probably back the Cardinals here, but ultimately, like I said, I don't have many plays on this card right now. It'd be a pass for me as of right now, and maybe like a broken record. It'd be a team total because I don't want to back Dakota Hudson all the time here, and maybe a first five -1 too. I'm pulling up the odds right now. First five -1 is at even money, which is not bad at all. And then you can get a team total 4 -130 and 4.5 +105.
I
So
mean, he's pitched at home. I mean, he's 3-0 at home. And he's pitched well, 1.35 ERA, 26 innings pitched, 20 hits, 4 earned runs, 16 strikeouts, 10 walks on 16 strikeouts. That's a little hard, but a 1.12 whip. Something tells me about this. Going to be a lot of runs scored in this game for some reason. I don't believe in Hudson either. I think he can get touched today a little bit. I wouldn't disagree with the either team total over, to be honest with you.
Oh, and by the way, I probably put the graphics in wrong. It's -155 and +130 for these Cardinals Reds. Those graphics on the screen wrong. 8 is the total right now.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I kind of like that over for some reason.
Yeah, 8's low.
Yeah, I feel like it might be a play.
Write that down here, and we'll say this: the Cardinals and Red, or I should say, just specifically the Reds.
Yeah.
Overs seem to always just cash in their games, whether it be via the bullpen or just via a crappy starter.
Yeah, and their stadium and when they're home too helps. That's always a good home over park. Yeah, without a doubt. And I believe there was I'll get to it. I think there was a trend on there. Here we go. There might have been something with the umps in this game. No, 3 overs, 8 unders, 8 pushes. So that tells you nothing. But yeah, the 8 I think feels kind of low. What kind of betting we got? Yeah, like you would think. Well, the 8, yeah, the over 8. 63% of the bets, 71% of the handle on the over.
That's a lot.
So 37% of the bets, 29 on the handle for the under. So the over's getting the money. That could get pushed to over. If someone's going to bet the over, I would bet it now because that could get pushed to over 8.5. These numbers I put out and stuff are all basically through DraftKings. Okay. That's the site I'm on. I use VSiN a lot, and they have a pretty good data stuff. And DraftKings actually owns VSiN, which I didn't know. I think that merger happened recently, or whatever that transaction happened recently. But so all these numbers with the handles and stuff are the DraftKings, but they're conglomeration of all not just the DraftKings in Vegas. It's
Shout out to Paco Healy who's joining us.
Hey Paco, OG Lowbagger, one of the best, man. Paco Healy, great guy.
Likes the over hot weather. Let me double check Ballpark Pal real quick because we are in St. Louis Busch Stadium. Nothing really magical. Nothing really, I guess, affecting a 10 miles an hour wind out to right field, apparently right center to be specific. But Ballpark Pal doesn't say any, plus 3% for home runs, so barely anything there. But yeah, it's either team total for the Cardinals here or the over 8, and I have not decided what I will move on, but officially we will see here at the end of the show. But I do have a couple plays written down, so I am feeling a little better about my card now.
Yes.
All right, Dom, let's move on to the showcase matchup, I think, of the evening here. We've got Dodgers-Giants, Julio Urias versus Carlos Rodon, a battle of two of the best lefties in baseball here. And I'm not a Rodon guy. I'm really not. I had to weather the storm through the first couple of weeks of the season when he was pitching phenomenal, and I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't know about this guy. Julio Urias, I like a lot better. Last time out for Julio versus the Mets at home, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 4 Ks, 3 walks, a home run there. And versus my Pirates, he did me a favor and got roughed up a little bit. 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs off 2 home runs there, 8 Ks, 1 walk there. The Dodgers are 6th against lefties right now, 136 weighted runs created plus. Yeah. Rodon a lot better at home. We'll start there. A 2.67 on the road at home. In 27 innings pitched. A 4.22 on the road. 32 innings pitched. So just a clear difference there with a 2 and a 4 ERA at home and road there. I want to honestly, I would rather take an under here, maybe a first 5 under here. That sounds as square as it gets with both these pitchers. And you've got 8 miles an hour wind blowing out with 99% humidity. So enjoy that wet heat down
Yeah.
there.
Wow.
But that we know that the wind swirls and oracles, so wind might not be a big factor. The humidity is, but I think it's an under spot for me, and it's definitely Dodgers. Let me double check the odds here to make sure I actually have these right. Um, but I think it's another team total spot for me. 135 is a little too juicy for me for these Dodgers. You can take a minus a half at plus 105, which I also don't hate. But you also can get 0-0 there. And it's pretty tough when that happens. Rodon's a very capable pitcher. So first 5 under minus 120 for the 4 is not bad. And I like
I got minus 115 actually. Bet Online has minus 115 for the under 4. I had the under when one of my plays yesterday was the under in this game. I loved it yesterday, and thankfully it came through. You got to think of it the same, you know. I could care less square bet, not square bet. I could care less when people talk about all that. I like the plays to play. If it wins, it wins. I care less. I've heard so much stuff, especially this year. People that know me for the last 4 or 5 years know that as much of a Mets fan I am, I don't bet them that often. If anything, I play a lot of totals. I play a lot of totals anyhow. But I'm not a big Met backer. But this year I've been backing them like crazy because they warranted it.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing a lot. I hear it every once in a while. Oh, that's all you do is bet the Mets. Well, I wish I just only bet the Mets this year. I'd be on vacation right now instead of talking to you. But you know what I'm saying? If I was that disciplined, I just bet the Mets this year. I would, But I've always done well betting with them and against them. Was my point. So the whole square thing sometimes gets me off on a tangent and way people talk.
I like the first
one. I don't
under.
mean you personally. You know what I'm saying?
I want to take it. I honestly
Nothing
do.
wrong with it.
But there's definitely some hesitations with this offense, with the Dodgers offense being 6th. And if we're going to say the Giants were supposed to struggle against lefties right now during the Jose split, they're not 10th, 122 weighted runs created plus. But obviously, this is a different lefty than Julio Urias. Maybe you could take a first 5 under.
Urias, 8-1-1, last 10 to the under. Well, everything's pointing to the under in this game. All the little trend.
Cash totals, you said it was 60% to the under?
The totals was
last game.
I'll tell you in 1 second. The under on the road versus the NL West, 11-3-1. 6-1 in day games. That's one of those stats that to me means just a coincidence. Day games, or they used to have one in football with the Tampa Bay Bucks under 35 degrees with lose and all this nonsense. But Urias 8-1 last 10 to the under. So there you go. I'll get you the.
I think the full game under is something I'll be writing down as well.
Yeah, I would play the full game under before I would play the first 5. That's definitely one of the leans for me. That's the second lean actually for me of the games that we talked about.
I just wrote that under down here. We've got 3 more games here. We can run through one of them quickly because we don't have a pitcher yet. Red Sox, Rays here. Red Sox don't have a pitcher. They do have a line. I think that's interesting. Robbie Ray supposed to take the bump here. But I can tell you guys this now. It is going to be a bullpen day for the Red Sox, and I assume that it's going to be Cutter Crawford that gets to start. I am not a big Cutter Crawford guy. I don't want to back the Red Sox money line today here. I don't like Robbie Ray, obviously. I think this is an over game, actually. I think Robbie Ray can get touched up here for sure by this Red Sox offense, who's been, great the last couple of days, or I guess the last couple of weeks. So it would be over or pass for me. Robbie Ray, I don't think is good enough to warrant a minus 145, but the Red Sox bullpen can definitely blow up. And Cutter Crawford is not my guy. So over or pass for me, Dom.
Yeah, I mean, I had Seattle yesterday, and I told you how I think Seattle's a play-on team going forward. But, yeah, not today. And I'm not laying 145. I seen the line open at 140, and now it's like 145. I'm not sure what you're seeing, but that's just too that's not for me. Robbie Ray at home Started 5 games. He only got a decision in one of them, and that was a win. All the other games, he didn't get no decision. The team lost 3 of them, actually. No, team won 3, lost 2. Um, 3 overs, 2 unders at home when he pitches. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was actually they just popped up. I was reading Whitlock, Boston, Garrett Whitlock. Yeah, it just popped up for me as pitching for the Red Sox.
Really? But they
Yup,
put
it
him in
just
the
popped
IL.
up. It says right here, pitching stats report, Garrett Whitlock for Boston. Now on the other screen, it still says undecided. So who the hell knows? We'll leave that go. Maybe they
Yeah,
just
no, they
didn't
put him on
change
the
it.
injury list yesterday.
Okay, so they probably didn't change. I didn't realize they put him on the injury list yesterday. They
No,
probably
yeah,
never
it was like
changed
2
it.
days ago. Yeah, no, I
Right.
I, I
So
think it's
Bobby
gonna
Ray
be.
at home. I'm sorry, it's 2-2 at home. He started 5 games.
Ugh,
Um,
gross.
yeah, 3 overs, 1 unders. He has a 3.86 ERA, 1.022 WHIP at home. Overall, 4.97 ERA. So yeah, I'm not put my money on Ray, especially at -145. I don't, that's not me.
Yeah,
Mariners bats all humming though. The
yeah.
chat, I know it went by quick. I didn't see it, but I agree with you, man. I like the Mariners. Maybe the Mariners team total.
I don't hate that either. I really
I don't
don't.
hate it. I don't hate it.
The Mariners have been humming, and at home, I think at home they're a force. You know, that crowd, in that ballpark. I think they've got good vibes there. So I would.
They're a good young
If I'm
team, man.
backing the Mariners, it is for sure at home this year,
Right,
and
right.
you think they're gonna turn it on, Dami? So I'll
Yeah,
definitely
I
keep an
do.
eye on
I
that.
do.
Like I said, I like them too. I had the team total over this year. I thought they'd make the playoffs, break a streak,
I
but
mean, they're a good young team. I hope they start coming on now. What team total do you have for that for the Mariners?
I
Did you
think
see
it's
it?
85 or 86.5.
Oh, it was 5.
It's one of the two. I don't
Uh,
remember. I got mine late, obviously. I made mine like the day before the season.
no, no,
Um,
no. I mean for today's game. I'm sorry, bro. Today's
oh,
team total over for the Mariners.
okay. Sorry. No,
It's had to be four and
I
a
thought
half
you were
or
talking about
something.
team
No, I know
season.
what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Let me see here. They don't have
I
many
think you got it
lines
quicker than me.
available because the
Oh, that's
pitchers
right.
are not announced.
Right.
But they just have the money lines. That's it. So not really.
Okay.
They don't have team totals yet.
So I'm not seeing because I'm not seeing that either on Bet Online. So I was wondering
Yeah.
if you had anything.
No,
So
unfortunately
yeah,
not. But we can move on from that game. It'll
yes,
be an
sir.
interesting game. Bullpen day for the Red Sox. I think, like I said, Cutter Crawford gets the start, but I'm not 100% sure there. Rockies, Padres here. Blake Snell
I
back
have
on
a
the
bet on
bump.
it. I have
Uh,
I have a bet on this one. One of the last two
please take
games.
it away, Dami. Take it
One
away.
of the last two games, we finally hit another one.
Let's do
I
it. I like
I took the Padres over 8 -110. Snell. Snell's not the answer for the Padres. He got roughed up. The Mets roughed them up last in a series where the Mets didn't play well. They roughed up Snell his last start. He lost 11-5 to the Mets. Gave up 5 runs, gave up 4 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 walks. Pitched a little over 4 innings. Only 4 strikeouts. He has his strikeout. Yeah, he has overall this year. He's only pitched 19 innings so far. So those 3 games he hasn't. He only pitched 19 innings. Okay, 5.68 ERA, 22 walks, 22 strikeouts, 11 walks. That ain't gonna get it done. An OBP of 3.13. That's it's up there. At home, he's 0-2 with a 6.75 ERA. He's pitched a little over 9 innings at home, 10 hits, 7 earned runs, only 1 strikeout, 5 walks. Yeah, a 1.61 WHIP. Don't love it. The Rockies head to head. The Rockies are 11-5 last 16 versus the Padres. That's interesting as a dog. But they're 5-13 the last 18 in San Diego. So how about that for a trend? The Rockies are 11-5 the last 16 times they played the Padres, but in San Diego they only won 5 and lost 13. It's just surprising how some teams just like the Padres just can't win in Colorado. Is what that tells you.
No, and the Rockies are just
Right.
only good in
The
Colorado.
Rockies, yeah, there about 3 years ago there was a thing on betting with the bag. I think it was 3 years ago, might be the year before COVID. Um, the Coors Field fade is what we called it, and we were betting on teams after they left Coors Field. I believe that's what it was, Diff. And I do it this year. I've been watching. I've been watching the team. I've been watching the teams going into Colorado their first game, and Rockies do pretty well in those first games of the series. Conversely, when the Rockies go on the road that first game, they lose a lot. They lose on the road, period. But something to keep your eye on.
I know I will keep an eye on the Coors Field
But I
fade.
did bet this game. I bet the over 8, and that's what I
I'm
bet.
not at the over at 7.5. I like that too. I think I'm gonna move right with you, Don. I'm gonna move on the over 8. I've got it at plus 105 for me.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
like it.
I got minus 110. That's nice. You got a good price.
Yeah, and it seems big money. Let me scroll up here because someone said it earlier. There's big money on Los Rockies today, and I cannot find the comment, but they said there's big money on the Rockies, like 28%
Let's
of
see.
the bets and like 56% of the tickets.
Okay. Yeah, let me get
The
to that.
spread good
Wow.
here, 28% of the bets and 58% of the money on the under, and I think that was on the last game we were talking about too.
I
The
love to
under.
hear. I love to hear what people have different than what I might have. I always find that interesting. Yeah, I have the for the game. I have the collar. Well, for this game, they have the Padres 85% of the bets, 85% of the handle on the Padres at minus 190.
And I'll say this: I think the low number is primarily because both these offenses right now are struggling. 26 are the Padres, 82 weighted runs created plus against righties since June
Yeah.
15th, and the Rockies against lefties, 88 weighted runs created plus. That's 25th in the league. So that's probably why it's so low. And everyone's saying this feels too easy. This is a trap, etc. And I kind of feel the same way, but I'm riding with you, Dom. I'm taking the
The
plus one.
over started at 7.5. 74% of the bet, 61% of the handle was on the over 7.5, and then it went to 8. So we'll
Yeah,
see what happens.
it's not even offering a 7.5 too. It's
No,
seven to
I
seven to
never
eight.
seen a 7.5 either. I'm just seeing what it was when it opened up. I guess is what they had it at. But yes, I did not see that. But that is the third bet I put in today. The
Beautiful.
over
Well,
8 minus
let's
1.
move on to the last game here, and then we'll
The
recap.
real game of the night. The real, actually,
Yes,
it is the ESPN game of the night.
of
Actually,
course. Yes, of course. I mean, you think this wasn't planned, Tommy? You think I knew? Of course, I knew the Mets run Sunday Night Baseball, and you were coming on this show. It's all a
we
part of the plan,
that was
Tommy.
part of the plan 3 weeks ago.
Taylor Walker versus Patrick
Ah,
Sandoval here.
Walker.
We'll see what Walker does here. Walker
We'll
is
see.
very interesting, and I'm sure he probably drives Mets fans crazy because he really is hit or miss. And I think he's better. I think he's better than when he shows often. I'll admit that. So, Tommy, I'd like you to take the floor here. Just what are you on here? What are you feeling about your Mets this year? And I hear a lot of Subway Series talk, Dom. I hear a lot of Subway Series talk.
I just can't talk about the Subway Series. I won't talk about the Subway Series.
Okay, good.
I'm hoping
Please,
for
that's not going to happen.
I'm hoping for the North of the Border Series with the Mets. But no, I don't think you could guess the bet I'm on today with this game. But I guess if I tell you as I talk about it, you'll be able to figure it out. But this game, first of all, the Angels. I had a feeling the Angels weren't this bad. They started getting better. I was I backed them a couple of those. I've been backing them a lot over the last week. I was thinking that they were going to start winning. It took a couple more games of them losing before they did start winning, but they got some bats there. What happened yesterday? They had a grand slam. Did we already another one with a grand slam? Oh no, Trout had 2 home runs. Ohtani had a home run. They just crushed. They went off. I only watched half of that game. And I didn't even realize that the Mets came back.
Man, Jared Walsh hit a cycle too.
As they did. Yeah, that was it. That's what I was looking for. I knew there was something. Right, he hit the cycle. Well, as a fan, what's more interesting to you? If you're watching a game in the stands, a no hitter or a cycle?
I, you know what's funny? I've heard this argument before. Technically, cycles are more rare, and the harder thing to come by, I guess. But it's for sure a no hitter.
Yeah,
It's
me
for
too.
sure a no hitter. Yeah.
We even had the stupid question on MLB Network this morning.
I hate when
It's more fluky. A cycle is more fluky, which is true.
Yes, and it's hard. It's hard to get a triple, obviously, and it's hard to get a triple and get it scored a triple, not an error too.
Right.
But yeah,
What,
no.
you saying you hate MLB? You said.
Yeah, the MLB Network, like just their gambling stuff is the worst. It's the absolute.
Anyhow, I meant I wasn't the MLB Network. It was the MLB TV, MLB.com. You know,
they're the worst
that's
too.
what I was.
I'll come after them as well.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. That's what I was watching. I wasn't watching the network. But you're right. The whole gambling thing on the TV, I talked about it, and I think I sounded a little chauvinistic when I talked about it. And I didn't mean to come out that way, but it's just that all these shows now have the pretty girl with the teleprompter. Most of them, you can tell, do not know anything about betting. Now, there are a few that are just fantastic. And I'm not saying because they're a girl they can't cap it. They're not good cappers. Because we even know a few ourselves. But that just whole thing on the TV now is the very, just the way it goes. It's every, teleprompter reading, and they don't know a thing about the game. But with this game today, the Mets and the Angels, it's a tricky game. I like the over again. I had the Mets over last night. The night before, I had the Mets and the over because they don't lose after losing. Now they lost last night. They've only lost 3 times, I believe. 2 times or 3 times they've only lost back-to-back games. They've never lost the third game. They think they're still the best in the league or one of the top 2 or 3 teams winning after a loss. They're still right there. They're unbelievable. But I can't back Walker. I don't like the way he pitched last. Sandoval either isn't nothing to write home about. I do like the 9, but the bet that I did take was, drum roll please, was the Angels team total over 4.5 minus 105.
Okay.
That was the game. That was what I took. I do believe that this guy could be putting another bet in. I don't like betting first 5 overs for some reason. I leave the game alone for some reason, but I think this game just goes. I think this game goes.
I think I like the over too, and I will mention this: Mets against lefties, 126 weighted runs created plus since June 15th. So,
I expected this road trip. As far as the Mets, I expected this road trip not to be great. We talked about it in our chat, especially CT Basil. He's another big Met fan, and he's really good with the stats and stuff. We were just hoping for a split this road trip. We knew the Mets were due for a little controversy, a little slump. You can't just keep on winning series after series after series. Wasn't happening. But we split with the Dodgers. The Padres got 2 out of 3 from us. But this game, I think we win this game, but I couldn't bet them. I'm not going to bet Walker until I see him doing a little bit better. The Angels, I think, are a tough team to go against right now. They're starting to feel it. They're starting to get hot. Keep your eye on the Angels. Those bats, like the Mariners, those bats are starting to like the Philadelphia Phillies, like the Braves.
I will mention this, Dom. I've got a quick question for you, Dom. You starting to get nervous about the division?
No, not yet. Because not yet. Not that I won't, but not yet. It's too early. Too early in the season. Too many things to come. I'm a second half guy. I'm a second half guy, and we'll see what happens then. Yes, the Braves are surging, and yes, I knew the Braves would be surging. But I bet like one of the reasons why I had such a great start was I went against the Braves hard at the beginning of the season. I just thought the Friedman not in the locker room was the biggest thing that everybody was talking about.
I agree.
I think that it's hard. The World Series hangover is true, is a real thing, and that was it. I expected the Braves to come out of it, though. I didn't expect them to, but we had such a big lead so far. Not bad. I mean, the Braves gained 5 games on us recently.
Yeah,
they were smart. 10 games went to 15 games. It was over.
They turned it on.
Yeah.
The guys got healthy. I'm a little nervous for you, Dom. I'm not worried
about the Phillies. I never worry
Not
about the
even a little bit.
Marlins. I'm not worried about the Phillies because the manager hasn't fixed the bullpen or their defense. It's going to come to fruition eventually. Let's see where the Phillies are in 10 days, and then maybe I'll be worried about them. But let's see what happens with the. Just don't forget with the Mets, the two best pitchers, basically, arguably, in baseball, or two of the top 5 pitchers in baseball aren't pitching right now. And we did just get back Tyler, so
And he's the
my boy
man.
McGill's back.
He is the man.
Chris Bassett has a little bit too much on his shoulders. I think he's the emotion of playing in New York. I think it's taken him a little time to get used to. But I hope and I think he'll be fine. Bassett, love the way he pitches. I love the Oakland A's for giving us who they gave us, Marte, and
Just robbery.
Yeah, robbery. And listen, Canada's a good ball player. He's a good ball player, so he's another one from the A's. But yeah, no, I'm not. I'm honestly, even as not taking my fan hat off, I'm not worried yet about the Mets collapsing. I'll always put a little side wager on the Braves Mets whenever you feel frisky.
No, I think for sure. I will say this:
It don't have to be money.
The best futures bets as of right now for like World Series, AL, NL champions right now are the Braves and Red Sox at those long shot prices. I think the Braves just get in. That's all they have to do, and they've got an extra playoff spot to work with. So,
if we have 2 minutes, tell me, do you think the Red Sox?
30,
you
39 plus.
You think the Red Sox are there? Sorry about that.
No, I do think the Reds. Well, here's the thing: they're going to add another arm, and they need an extra arm in the bullpen. And that's
my first question. Go ahead.
They're going to do that, but the main thing that I can hang my hat on, or I'm going to feel better about when the Red Sox in second half of the season, is that they have Chris Sale, waiting in the wings, coming back. It's going to be like another month and a half maybe for him to come back. Once Chris Sale comes back from rib injury or whatever it is now, he'll go straight to the starting rotation. And my hopes is that they bump Garrett Whitlock back to the closing role because he's just a much more effective pitcher as a closer. Stuff wise, just plays better, and he's already thrown his almost career high of innings, and barely a third of the way through or whatever. We're a third of the way through the season, so I want that to happen. And they also have James Paxton as well, Big Maple. Who the fuck knows what we'll get from him? But it's just another warm body.
I forgot that name, man.
Exactly.
That guy.
Exactly. No one knows that he's around on the Red Sox. Only Red Sox fans know that he's on the Red Sox, basically. So who knows what you'll get from him? But the Red Sox have the, I guess, rotation depth, and we'll see how that rotation depth is because they're coming back from injuries, obviously. We'll see how that goes. But I think they'll get another bullpen arm, and then I think they'll have some shifting around and do that. But I do think the Braves as well are a good World Series price as well. I mean, I know back-to-back World Series is incredibly difficult, but just good prices there. Maybe not even just a World Series, maybe just a division or an NL. But as you heard, Dom's not worried yet, and you shouldn't.
I'm not worried yet, but I'll tell you what I am. One thing I am, I'll tell you, I'm transparent. I don't go crazy. Sometimes my daughter's a big Met fan. She gets mad at me when I'm betting against the Mets and stuff like that. I mean, she's probably older than you. I'm not sure how old you are, but she's 33 anyhow. How old are you?
24.
Okay, and she's like, Dad, I'm like, loyalty runs thin, honey. I'm a sports bettor. Loyalty runs thin. But before we get out of here, I got a couple quick little systems that if you want to keep your eye on for you that I got put together for the show. Very quickly, just home favorites are winning 60%. Road favorites are hitting 63% with a 7% ROI. These are as of Friday. This doesn't count yesterday's games. Non-division home favorites, 58%. Non-division road favorites, non-division home favorites, 58%. Non-division road favorites are 110 and 54, 67%. They're hitting 13%. That's a pretty good.
That was non-division
road favorites.
Wow.
And it's one I've been looking at. I've been following for a while. It's 110 and 54, 13% ROI, 67%. With these kind of things, like I know we had a discussion I know in Jimmy's chat there was a discussion when you were rocking the Pirates against the Dodgers, and I know all the haters with their, oh, you keep playing those big dogs because the big favorites win 73% of the time. And I had to chime in that day, what I posted in the chat was, you guys are exactly right. Minus 200 favorites are hitting 73% this year. That was of those games. Right before that series, the ROI was only 3%. 3. Remember, you put it up on the screen. So now after that, Dodgers lost those 2 games. What do you think the ROI was then? They lost at minus 360, right?
Yeah.
There you go with your minus 200 favorites, guys. And these minus 3 lines that people are given, minus 150, minus 193 inning lines. That's too specific for me, man. That's not for me.
No, I agree with you. I will say this: I'm 4-2 this year, fading minus 300s, and
yes, you are. Yes,
and I'll say this: yesterday, I didn't bet this one because it wasn't minus 300.
You were being disciplined.
Yes, I did not bet this one, but Bo Brisky and the Blue Jays, they got up to minus 300, and Blue Jays lose.
I remember you was mentioned that, and I was saying to myself, "Good boy, he's being disciplined," because you can't say to yourself that, oh wait, if that's your number, that like my number is minus 140. I'm not betting minus 145. I got to stay disciplined, man. You got it. Yeah, but just another quick one I got for you is favorite. Wait. Now, just tell me if this is kind of a weird system, but this has been going back for a while, 2 years. This system, well, maybe even 3 years. Road favorites. A road favorite who made the playoffs last year versus a team who did not make the playoffs are actually 233 and 127, 65%.
That's 60.
Road favorites who made the playoffs versus a team who did not make the playoffs last year, which is I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand the. I don't know if that's. Can't figure out why that's the trend. In other words, but if it's a coincidence or not, it's hitting. And then favorites off a loss that just made the playoffs last year, like the last year's playoffs teams, when they're favored and they're off a loss, they're hitting 58%. So that's what I got for you.
That's good stuff, Dom. And of course, you watch quite frequently, and we appreciate you for doing so. And let us know when those trends do arrive. I will try to remember them, the non-division road favorites and road favorites versus a non-playoff team, and when that team was a playoff team, that favorite team. So just remember that.
Non-division road favorites is the most consistent, guys. It's the best one that's been hitting all year. They have it down as a 13% ROI. I don't know, but it's been hitting. As of Friday, the record was there. 110 and 54 was the record as of Friday. So,
I'm scrolling through the games we have today just to see Milwaukee, non-division road favorite, I believe there. We've got the Blue Jays, obviously. The Tampa Bay Rays, minus 120 versus the Minnesota Twins. That's a division. And I think that's it. Yeah. So you've got...
There are some there. Not that you play it more, but that's...
Tampa Bay, Toronto, and it's funny that it's all the NL, it's AL East right there, and NL Central, the Milwaukee Brewers. So you got 3 today, at least. So
there you go. We'll keep our eye on that one.
Yeah,
we'll try to keep track of that one for you.
For sure, please do.
That's it, man.
Dom, it's time to get into the official plays here. Let's get into official plays here. But first, Dom, I know you want to smell good, Dom. I know you want to smell good for the ladies. I know you do. And when you want to smell good, Dom, use Dr. Squatch today. And yes, guys, it's Memorial Day weekend coming up. Whenever it was, you saw it. It was so great. And Dr. Squatch is getting into the Memorial Day theme with their own Freedom Fresh bundle. Go there today, Dr. Squatch, link in our description, and go check out the new soap and deodorant, Freedom Fresh. Smells great, looks cool. Have not had my hands on the Freedom Fresh when I just got my Galaxy bundle the other day, like you guys know. I used the Mars bar. Like I said, Helga approved. It's great. Check out the link in our description today so they know that we sent you guys. Support Dr. Squatch. Sign up for a subscription or just sign up for a pack and try it out today. You can get one of those bars of soap for $8 if you're not interested in the whole bundle, which I can understand. You don't want to buy a whole bundle to start off. Go get yourself a little $8 Mars bar or perhaps a little $8 Freedom of fresh or Freedom Fresh bar. So do that today and go support our guys at Dr. Squatch. All right, Dami, official plays for
Uh,
today.
for
I'll
you,
let
buddy, just for your little commercial, what's coming up next week is Father's Day, so that's a perfect gift.
They definitely do have Father's Day sales as
There
well.
you
We'll
go,
talk about
guys.
those tomorrow too. It'll be fun. Father's Day. Maybe well, I did give my dad some soap too, but yes,
Yeah.
Father's Day. Get your dad some soap. Your dad stink, guys. Get him some. But official plays, Dami. You started off here.
I could. Do you want my favorite play of the day? You want the plays I'm on? I'm on the 4 plays. I'm on the Padres over 8 -110. That's my favorite. That's if I had to pick one, I would pick that. Tigers I have +123 going against the trend. Tigers under 4 first 5 -108, and the Angels team total over 4-5 -105. I have a strong lean to the Miami Marlins. Boy, oh boy, and that Dodger under. I'm toying with those. But if I had to pick one, I would take the Padres. The Padres, they only scored, 3 runs yesterday? But before that, those last 7, 8 games before that, they were crunching the ball. So I'm expecting them to go back to that. That's my plays. That's my say hey plays of the day.
There you go, Dom. There's the branding. For me, I'm going to make 4 plays official as of now. I don't think I'm going to move on the other ones. I've got the leans. These aren't official, but I'll let you guys know. I like that. Like I said, the Cardinals, Reds over 8 and team total over 4.5 for the Cardinals. I like that. The over 8 in the Padres Rocky game, and I do like the Mets money line +100. I think they can pull it out today, and I think betting the better team at a plus money is always just a good idea, personally.
Yes.
But officially, for me, these 4 plays, I'm taking the Pittsburgh, Atlanta under 9 here at -105, which that game is starting soon, so I have to make that bet. Well, it's in 35 minutes. Still got some time, thankfully. Pittsburgh, Atlanta under 9 -105. Miami, I'm taking it. I'm taking the run line, reverse run line, +105, or sorry, +1.5 at -105.
Okay.
That there. I'm going to take the Chicago White Sox team total over 4.5 at +115. Hoping and praying that Tony La Russa can, shake them around, get the boys going, Tony. And I'm taking the under 8 in the Giants-Dodgers game. Just makes too much sense. Might be a square play, but under 8 -120 for me.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Sounds good. What's coming on Pub next? Is there something coming up?
Well, Dom, that's an excellent question.
Yeah.
Because I don't know personally. I don't know what's coming up.
I thought my boy Tease was coming on.
Tease does come on Sundays. I think he is at 1:00. So they're about to jump on right now, which is going to be lovely. I don't want to keep Tease waiting because Tease is a lovely man, of course.
Yeah.
But I was about to tell you, Dom. After these shows on Sunday, I just unplug and I disappear for 12 hours.
Tuesday. Until
Monday, Dom. Till Monday.
Oh, I thought you took the Monday off like Jimmy. I thought you guys, tried to.
No, every day, Dom. We grind every day here.
Yeah, I that's good. You need a little. Listen, I'm a big proponent of taking a little break every once in a while, but you guys have been rocking, man. Pub Hub Sports. Shout out to you guys. You guys have been. Listen, I gave you guys a shout out. I shout out to you guys all the time because you guys are smart enough to reel in some of my boys, and you guys got. Listen, I was telling you straight. That was the best move you ever made, and I love what you guys do, and I love all the new guys that you brought into it. I like the mix of all of us and everybody together, the low bag crew, as we say, and the Pub Hubs. I just love it. I love and listen, together, all of us together, we could put out some good things, So
for sure. I hope that we can do so. By the way, quickly, Sabino Anguano asking about Brewers Nationals. We didn't have any plays on that. I don't think Dami, you had any official plays on that.
No, I didn't.
But we were talking while we were wrapping up the show here. Dami looking up trends and such. Non-division road favorites are hitting at 67%, according to Dami over there, and that is one of the non-division road favorites. Milwaukee going to the Nationals, and they are
0-7. They gotta win sometime.
Yeah. So I that would be my play there, Sabino. All right, Dami, it's been lovely. I hope we can do this again for sure. It's been a great time. I
Good
love
time.
talking to you as always. I love your insights and knowledge. It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you,
Do you have anything to say
Jose.
before we head out of here?
I appreciate you, man. You're doing a good job. I appreciate you asking me to come on. I'd love to do it again. And shout out to everybody for coming in. And I'm on Twitter. I'm at Dom541 is my Twitter handle. Dom Ricci, Fat Fist Nicky, Boston Nick, MMA Nick. You know the Nick I'm talking about. He's one that gave it his name, Dommy Gun. It started when we were doing the horses when COVID first started, and that's all we could do was the horses. And one day I was just knocking down the bookies, and he's like, "That's Tommy Gun shooting them down." So it stuck after that. Jimmy rolls with it, and then after Jimmy rolls with it,
Yeah.
He's like, "You got to change your name, man." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
That's why my middle name is Zenyatta now.
That's it, man. Jimmy,
Jimmy
you got to change your name. All right, Jim, whatever you say, man. All right, anyhow, yeah. I appreciate everybody. Give me a follow if you can, and thank you, everybody.
Beautiful. Dom, thank you so much for joining us. Let's shout out the chat one more time before we head out of here. Sabino, Real Deal Prime asking for that raise. You know what it is. Raise that.
Real deal.
You guys know what it is. We didn't bet on today, so I'm not going to give you the full raise it, but you guys know. You guys see the flag up there. Shout out to you guys. Achilles Paris, thanks for coming and watching. He's got Bell over Briscoe in NASCAR. I like that. I'd love some NASCAR action. Wow. Nasty Nate, I'll see you soon, my guy. He's on the Blue Jay Big today. Paco Healy, Southpaw, all you guys, Don Mack, David Beckett, Alex G, Stimmy OG, Abel A, who me and his daughter are the same age. I'm sorry, Abel A, that you are apparently getting old. I appreciate that you and your daughter are me in the same age. I hope she's a September birthday, too. September birthdays. Good, Bruce Hayward, Nate Dogg 420, all you guys, Danzo, Ergo Caustic. Appreciate you guys all for joining us, as always. Justin Bilbo. We'll be back again tomorrow, Monday, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. I don't think I have a guest set up for Monday, but I will figure that out in the meantime.
You ever need me to pinch your shout out? If I'm around, I'll be glad to jump on.
There we go.
Whenever
in doubt, I've got
shout out to Nate Dogg, by the way. Nate Dogg 429. Shout out to my boy, OG Lobag and Paco Healy. Beautiful guys. Thanks for coming in.
And by the way, ski on with T. So go watch that right now. Head over to We Got Next because he does have next. So shout out to Tease, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to say hey on social media. My name's Jose. We'll see you guys next time.